Well, here we are. Yay. We just did our show here in St. Charles at the Family Arena. We actually said the Family Center, didn't we? You said the Family Theater. I love it.
We're on stage.
But here's the thing. The show's still going on. Yeah, we just did our show, but we really just did our set.
Yeah, we just did a set.
And now the rest of the show is going on. And we came into our dressing room because we ran out of time to do this episode.
We did. I want to point out too that Paul napped for the show and he had a very different experience. Why don't you share that right off the bat?
Well, I woke up and I realized it wasn't 3 hours difference, that I'm always on West Coast time. And then I realized, oh, it's 2 hours. And then Susan goes, oh, yeah, that's 20 minutes. We're doing it. I'm not even dressed. And so I'm doing all that. And you're thinking, and I never nap. And I fell asleep here in the dressing room. It was so nice. And I woke up and I'm going, oh, my God, I can't believe we got to do a show. But once I got up there, I had tons of energy because of the nap. I think I was holding my notes longer and better because of the nap. And the nap, but I hate naps. So I'm not going to, this is not everything.
So you're not introducing your new nap policy?
No. No.
Okay, great. Lots of sharing.
But just one last thing, I just want to say that, so I didn't spend an hour and a half being all excited about the show coming and using up a lot of energy during that time. Yes. By the time I'm on stage, I'm going, oh, wow, I feel like I've already done a show. But that's not the case. But I'm still not going to do next. That's cool. You wake up and you're going, oh my God, where am I? What am I doing? It's like,
we can honestly say in 10 summers at our summer camp, as we call it, never once has somebody asked, where are we? And the other person said, oh, they're in the bus napping.
Yeah.
That never.
He's sleeping late, but we don't never know.
Here's what we're going to do. We do this every week. We don't have a lot of time to tell you all the places we're playing this episode, okay?
Yeah.
If you go to Cowsills.com or you go to the Facebook page, all the places we're playing are listed. We're going to go into detail on some of them soon, like next week, but tonight we've got some stories to share. And you can look that stuff up, and next week we'll get back to the routine there of that, okay? So,
we're going to... First story is, and I hope we hope you get the comicalness of it all, because it was really funny when we were there. So we're out having a bus camp right after the show, and we're all sitting there, and everybody's in their buses, the camp buses, the band, and all those guys, and then our buses, the crew bus, and all those guys. And so we're all out talking, and Susan's doing something with her suitcase down by the bus after the show, right in the bay. And Bob is telling a story, and we're all listening to the story. And now I'm looking at Bob, and then all of a sudden I'm looking by Bob, and all of a sudden, and this is something we've never seen, out of the other bus, the door opens, and everybody on the bus is starting to come out. Well, I run to get out of sight. Bob's looking at me going, what's
Bob's trying to understand what's happening.
Yeah, and so I go by Susan, I go, they're all coming.
And I say, what are you talking about?
Yeah, the people. So I go up to Bob, and I go, Bob, don't turn around. But man, everybody on that bus is out of the bus, humming, such. So me and Bob, but out of there to get out of sight. And then we relax a little bit, and now we're looking around the corner, and now we're spying. We're spying, and now somebody pick up.
Okay, so here's the deal. So we asked, what is going on?
All out.
Right. So they had what could have been a fire on the end of the bus. It didn't ignite. But here's what happened. They're in the bus. Everyone's in the bus, and they're eating dinner and having their meal after the show. And Joey Mullen from our Badfinger guy, he's sitting there eating his ribs. And he looks up and he looks at the microwave, and there's some smoke in it. And he's eating, and he goes, all right. He says like that with his accent. Godfrey looked up. He said, no. And he opens it up, and I mean, out of this microwave comes a blast of whatever.
Smoke.
Quickly. Godfrey put in French fries and 3 chicken nuggets, wanted on 60 seconds. We're at 60 minutes now.
No, it was a Red Baron pizza.
No.
That was Marcus Red Baron pizza. Yeah. We all French fries on these nuggets last night for Mom. Okay, so he puts in these nuggets. He wants 60 seconds. He's got 60 minutes.
6 minutes.
And the smoke is everywhere. So Godfrey sounds the alarm. Everyone on the bus.
We have asthmatics. We have
or someone else get it, because I knew this part. I know about Run and cussing back, but Guards just get everyone on the bus, and he's the last guy, but he sees Joey sitting there eating his root still. And he said, Joey, you can't get out of this bus. And Joey goes, no, I'm eating my fucking ribs, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he stayed. And he stayed.
It was in his phone.
On the phone.
On the phone, and he was like, I'm on the phone. So 2 people stayed inside the very dangerous, intoxicated, smoke and God knows what else bus.
It had to look worse than it was because
For sure.
the thing's full of white smoke. Is it going to explode?
Now,
You know,
the boss, Mark Bolden, comes out. Now, I mean, we got people out on the sidewalk that just aren't out at this hour of the night.
And you actually, sorry, Ken told me to interject here, but it almost seemed like they were coming out of their bus to, wage a game against us. It looked like we were football teams and they were coming out. You never see these people.
It'd be like the West Side Story people. We totally.
The Jets.
And then Mark from around the corner, and Bridge goes, hey, boss, these guys, he's the TT. So Mark Bowman, he's all excited because, hey, it's exciting when a fire drill happens. And so he gets to go on our bus, and he came up and used our bathroom. Then I got to show him my bum. And then we went back down. And then the next thing you know, and what I noticed when they came on the bus right away is they smelled very much of the smoke. They had all escaped.
It smelled like chicken
It
smelled
smelled like
look, guys, it's like this, okay? We've all been through something like this. No, I'm talking about this is an earthquake that happened between the 2 neighboring houses, okay? And the earthquake happens. Now everyone comes out of the bus where the earthquake took place, and we see them, and then we come out. These buses, we don't really, like the neighbor you don't know, that you kind of know, that's us in that bus.
Yes. Our bus has bus camp usually at the end of every show before the drivers come and take off. Well, these people never ever leave the bus except for maybe. And so when they came out, all of a sudden people are coming to us and going, oh gosh, do you have a chair? Do you have a chair? Do you have a chair?
Is this what you do?
Really? We had to give our chairs to them so they could sit. We stood up the whole time.
We did finally get to play croquet.
We get them chairs, and we got them drinks, chairs till the danger was over.
It was great. It was great.
And then,
It's a box point to get away from this incredible microwavable fire. Because we've all left stuff in the microwave. Not 60 minutes, but even if you go in a microwave, if you do something 10 minutes over what they're talking about, you can have some funny looking stuff coming out of a microwave. I was just trying to imagine what these French fries and chicken McNuggets look like. After all that time, they had the crispy critters.
Well, Godfrey said they had blended into one piece of something.
Mound, more like a closer to the region first.
So it was pretty cool. We were very, very, very happy.
Yeah.
We kept going, well, how is it in there now? We wanted them to get back there. And yes, and then we wanted it to be over because we weren't used to the conversation.
Neighbors that well.
Yeah. And it's funny, we're like we all travel together, we're on the show together, and everybody loves each other, but we are our bus and they're their bus. And they came off their bus. They looked like they were asking for trouble.
Yeah.
And we were willing to give it to them.
Unfortunately, it was friendly
fire whole way. So we recognized who they were and we realized, guys, these are our friends.
So what we'll share with you now is the story that I was saying when all of that happened, because Carl, innocently enough, our house guy, Carl, innocently came in. You guys were with Howard Stern once, weren't you? Now, it's the 2 stories of like, yeah, I think so. And so we shared our story, and people said, could you just tell us about what happened back then? Because it's kind of in our history. People it's in there listed, Howard Stern, Channel 9 TV show. But this is a big story. Our story begins at the Roosevelt Hotel.
Right on.
Grandview. Okay, so, and we hear from somebody on the East Coast, I forget who it was, that Howard Stern was a shock jock back there before national fame. And he was looking for us. Okay. And so to bring us back together, I'm going to get the Cowsills back together. Now, in the Roosevelt Hotel, in the ballroom, are 20 radio stations in a circle around the. You go from one to the other.
Yeah.
When we came in, the chaos rose.
It's chaos.
It didn't.
And we're going, where's Howard Stern? We don't even know what he looks like. And there he is, Howard Stern.
Yeah.
Because we got to report that. That's our interview. Now we're gonna hit the other stations, but Howard brought us there. We want to be good at that. but not get to know him maybe. And we did. So 2 minutes to where I don't forget the station, but it's Howard Stern's radio show. And we sit down and he immediately, what set us off from the very beginning was he immediately, and he didn't know he was like this, starts in on our sister Susan and Paul,
Being Paul
was on it.
It was like we really didn't care where we were, and like when it comes down to family, it doesn't matter about this being on his radio station or anybody else's radio station. We're ready to rock and roll, especially when somebody starts saying, crude. Kind of, in my opinion, I felt it was really
Grew up nice.
and I just I mean, hey, this is our sister.
Yeah.
Started
The adversarial.
what the whole rest of the story is that we were not going to put up with his BS.
Yeah. Well,
We had it in the group. Anyway,
We're sisters.
so, but we needed you, of course. It's not secret. It's just everyone's taking their territory,
getting famous, we're like, wow, he wanted
And and his job's to push our envelope, and we have envelopes, and we push back. We're all good. So we leave happy. Everything's fine. In fact, it's so good.
It's really good.
We get invited to be on Howard Stern's Channel 9 television show in New York.
We made it to the big time.
We thought we're going on his TV show. This is unbelievable.
He's London ring. Also awesome.
Well, that's
Without-
what saying for us.
What? With the thing in there, we were only telling people we're here. We had no product. Anyway,
We were very loud because just let me digress one little second. So we came in the room here through the door, and Howard was way over there. It took us about an hour to get there because everybody go, oh my God, it's the Cowsills. They're big net. So we kept stopping at these places, and I know that, and I know
So it's his big moment.
yeah, after Howard's interview, we did stay in the room, of course.
Because people come back after they got the Howard. We got
But now, while we're at the other stages, we're here at Howard. We're going to get, he is a funny guy.
Yeah.
We're here at Howard. Johnson would singing Indie Lake. I could get an interview done over there. He brought some room at it, and we're not really get, but he's in now.
Yeah.
Suddenly,
we're just being us, guys. We're just being us. So, we can be loud and a little, so get it.
I'm here. Well, it was facts.
Facts.
I get a fax from Howard Stern before we leave town.
We're Stern.
Okay. And there it is in his handwriting with his little signature with his funny face at the bottom.
Facts. That's
And what he's done is, and his stick with parodies and songs. Okay.
Yes.
So he decided to do a parody lyric with hair. And this is the time during the Iraqi War when it was so serious you can imagine, and that's why Howard was going to try and do this.
degrade it.
And the lyrics were horrific. Give me the rap.
Yeah, we can't even
Right.
Well, it's all about killing.
So now the instant reaction, but certainly from Susan and us, was like, whatever. So
Yeah.
anybody like that. Now Susan is, because she's moral and has standards. I'm the guy that thinks there's gonna be 10 of those Iraqis outside that studio door only after this episode. Right?
Yeah, and so this is happening, and Susan comes really close up to me, and she goes, "Up to me, Army," and I went, "Hell no, we're not doing this."
And we do that. Okay, DJ. So I responded back to, actually, at this point, I'm communicating with Gary, his producer, Gary Hi. We love him. So
I'm about to send an email.
so you said, Gary, okay. So now, again, remember, we don't know this disc jockey named Howard Stern's not gonna like this.
And then this is
Still,
Can't be on, and then we said, okay, we can't be on, and then he said, okay, you can be, because he thought we'd behave if he said we couldn't be on.
we get outside. We're at the studio in New Jersey. We go up and
The Ramones are there.
no, not yet.
Oh.
No, they're yeah. But
That's easy.
we're in
They're next.
We're in the studio with our full band. Okay. Now Howard, it's not. Remember, this is Howard before anything. He's got no budget. Okay.
he's acting like a big shot.
It looks a lot like
They don't know what to do with a full band. Okay. We set it up. They don't know how to mic it. They don't know what.
No monitors.
So we had to make a judgment call to not let the full band on the Howard Stern show. How sad.
sad.
That's
We're too negative.
the three principals, Susan and John, four at the
Yeah.
time,
Right on.
took to the desk to have an interview with Howard and do the show
And
and
sing.
sing the song at the desk with lunchtime. We told him, Howard, you can't do a
Dude, he was like, well, nobody cares, but go ahead. That.
You know, we've been running this show because we were the guests and we kept saying, no, we're not going to do that. No, we're not going to do that. We will go to the desk. So we can't. Yes, we will.
He's not happy.
So we sing Shine, which is going to be a bonus track on Global in November. But anyway, we sing Shine. And now we know he hates it. Now, Susan, describe Howard's behavior while we're singing our song in the show.
Why would you? Yeah, well, here's what happened. So we're singing Shine, right? And we're going to sing Hair too. He wants us to sing Hair. And he's going, you're going to sing Hair, right? We're like, yeah, we'll sing Hair. But we want to do our new song. And he's like, do your new song, get it over with, and then do Hair. And Howard, because he's sitting at the front and he's got something under the desk and I can see it. So we finish Shine and he goes, all right, now Hair. So we start, she asked him why. And Howard pulls, and I'm watching it because I've been watching him. He pulls out from under the desk these life-size giant cue cards with the lyrics from the parody on it. And we're singing, give me a head with hair. With his head, give me a dead Iraqi. We realize that while we're singing, I get up while singing, walk around my brothers, I push my chair in like romper room, I go around and I take all of his cue cards out of his hand and I fling them across the room.
Our fourth misstep.
And I went and sat back down and he was like, oh, sorry, go, can't take a joke.
He was leaning in on us.
He's growing.
I like the Cowsills, but anyway, he Shine and that nonsense stuff, but
And so it ends.
it's professional. We had a great time.
He loved it. He thought he loved it.
Yeah, until.
So
Now we're all down in the bowels of the place and the Ramones have arrived because they're in a limo, they're sitting inside. Now I'm hanging around. I'm there with Jack Snyder. He is part. They're going to be on Howard next. We're all leaving. It's a really narrow hallway down here, but the Ramones are in. They're huge and so big.
Yes, but just so the limousine comes up and they get out of the limousine. And a song of ours called Gray Sunny Day was playing inside their car, and they got out and they went, "Oh my God, it's the Cowsills!"
It makes the Ramones.
Incredible.
they were
Inside they come in, and I'm still waiting for the person who I'm traveling with. And I'm talking with Joey Ramone in this tiny hallway. And it's a really, like they said, shitty place where they are doing this. And I'm talking to Joey, and it's really crowded. And all of a sudden, I hear a door shut, and it's Howard coming out of his studio. And he's walking our way. And I say to Joey, Ramone, would you do me a very big favor? Will you just talk to me right now, no matter what, when the Howard guys walks by, you won't stop and won't say hello. You just talk to me and pretend you're talking to me till he's gone. And he goes, okay, cool. What do you want to talk about? He's got these. He's sitting there, and I'm like, so the Ramones. And he goes, yeah, you guys are Cowsills fans. And we're talking, right? Stern comes, he passes behind me and Joey Ramone. He gets down to his door, and Joey and I'm like, this is great. Really? He goes, well, I really enjoyed this. And we both hear, hey, Cowsill. And unfortunately, I turned and looked because I wouldn't have. And he went, nice ass. And walked out. And that is the last thing Howard Stern said to me. Now, I'm going to send Howard a lovely email, because it's been many years that we've all come a long way, lots of evolution, lots of change. And I would like to invite him on our podcast. So whatever happens, I want you guys to know that we, the Cowsills, are going to put an email to Gary. Well,
reaching out to this.
And I'm just going to be very nice. It's going to come from me mostly. And I'm just going to say, hey, it's Susan Cowsill, the Cowsills. We have a podcast.
And if you would like to reach out to him, and let them know we're trying to get a hold of him.
Because I'm going to write, like,
For it.
Is it called a chimney? We're told a chimney.
Right.
And that's a hard right. We're not going to give him a pygmy. You love that.
You know, that's right up in the day.
It's the statue of David, and I thought I saw that he needed one. I did.
I've heard that Howard has gone through a lot. He's had a lot of changes. He regrets some of his hires. And I think he's really doing beautiful, decent interviews with people who feel young, real sincere things. So maybe, and I want to say, look, you do us a solid by having us on, and we want to do the same for you, having you on our very
I need to tell you a couple more things. we need to tell you a couple more things to highlight why that might never take. But here's the thing, because somebody sent us Howard Stern's radio show the Monday morning after this was a weekend gig to do his TV show. It was a Saturday night show. Monday morning, he's back to his regular weekly radio show. And they sent me the Monday morning radio show. And all he did was just now the Cowsills, boy, the Cowsills were a drag, weren't they? That's a, by the way, she's at the hippie.
He's an old hippie.
I will tell you this. There have been many famous people that have degraded themselves just so Howard would like them. And we're never going to do that. It's always happened, but we think Howard's ready for us. Yes. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we love you. Howard, come out.
Yeah. We have one more run-in with Howard. Okay, now remember the basis of all of this was he wanted to get us back together, and he did get us inside the Roosevelt Hotel in front of him. Okay, he did it. Okay, so move forward into the year. We decide, you know what? Let's do a show or something. The Zanzibar show is going to come, and the real impetus of really performing live. I mean, that wasn't like Howard Stern was get him on the radio, get us on the radio show. Mission accomplished. Eric Scott was a disc jockey in Boston, and
so when we were with Howard, okay, he said, okay, I'm going to get you back together again. And we just in our normal way went, yeah, let's do it. So I kind of gave him the feeling that he was on a solo mission. There you go.
And we had no good experience. When we left Howard, we just left each other at the same time and just got back to our lives.
Yeah.
But Barry Scott gets a hold of it and said, we should consider it's our territory. Wayne Fensley, DJ of oldies, he's got his old Barry Scott show, oldie show. And we said, forgot about Howard. We're starting to roll into global songs, and a whole new thing's going to open up for us, okay? So we're giving Howard some ammunition.
Well,
Here's the deal. So we do a wonderful concert at Zanzibar. It's a club, though. It's not a concert. It's a club. And the Beach Boys were there, and all lots of paparazzi. It was kind of a big number.
Yeah, it was.
And so we did it, and we went home, and then the next big thing that's going to happen to us is, of all things, we're going to get in People magazine. Not online People, which is cool. The book, the magazine itself, okay, and online. I don't think they did it. People magazine, okay?
It's cool.
I mean, in People magazine, we have a nice story. They quoted our dad. He said, I wouldn't want to be their father either, and all that business. So it's kind of a good story. But in it, Barry Scott is mentioned. The concert in Zanzibar is mentioned as kind of a big moment in the history of the Cowsills. They might be, quote unquote, getting back together. Okay, so we ride the wave of the People magazine, having a People magazine article. It was a lot of fun. And next thing, right, Howard's not mentioning it because he was the pastor, the radio guy. Roosevelt's over. We TV show over. He doesn't like us.
Okay, be back together, but we get it. I get it.
So I'm asleep at 3 a.m. one morning, which is 6 a.m. New York time to start a Howard Stern's radio show. And my phone rings and I answer it because it's 3 a.m. Nothing good happens at 3 a.m. You got to answer the phone. So I answer the phone. And thank God it's just Gary Dell'Abate from the Howard Stern show. And I'm so tired. I'm going, even the last name, I'm not thinking about the movie. I'm going, Dello, what? Dello?
Yeah.
From the Howard Stern show. Oh, okay, cool. Hi. Howard wants to know if you go on the radio with him. I said, yeah, well, like, when do you want to do it? He goes, now. I go, it's 3 a.m. He goes, yeah, but you don't have to, but would you? I said, oh, yeah, okay. And click, I'm on the Howard Stern show with Howard, right off the bat. And he starts in. He's just reading me the riot act about Barry Scott. Some t-shirt got out. If you can remind me, I don't know what it said. Some t-shirt he got window or the People magazine.
Cowsills.
So anyway, he was livid. And he was demanding that we apologize to him and give credit where credit was due. And look, I haven't been dealing with shock jocks. I'm new to my career even. We did a show. And this guy could not stand us. I said, well, Howard, you do know? I said, you did. I don't know. He was throwing all the evidence by me. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Anyone gonna help me here? Yes, you did. Well, yes, you were first, Howard. Was I before?
Wait.
Yes, you were.
I have an idea.
Hilarious. And I hung up and whatever.
I have an idea.
Felt famous for three.
This would start with Howard. But there are a few people who along the way in our lives have been very encouraging to get back together. And they set something up. There's a few people who actually think they are the ones during that period that got us back together. They're all men. The only people who wasn't ever mad was very
And mine was
Gary Scott on, let him tell his story.
Very loved that Howard mentioned. Well, Bertie,
this is I'm very shocked.
We could do a series of guides of Stuart on. You tell your story, how you got us back together.
Mine's like just in case Gary's listening.
Of course.
Because you may be spot. Well, Howard Stern and the Cowsills. This is an example of two professionals locking horns, okay? And standing their ground, and after the game, and everyone's fine, everyone's except he owns it, and we don't, okay?
No.
Big difference.
Big difference. We want him on our.
We went to Cousin Brucey's one night in his studio and set the whole band up in a glass studio so everyone could see with a little audience outside. Okay, we're sitting there. Now, as fate would have it, Howard Stern's studio was on the same floor and down the same hallway. So we're doing this, and we see Gary Delabate. He's just walking straight, like no one's going to look at us.
He wouldn't look at us.
He just kept walking, and we started yelling. But he could hear us in the glass.
Yeah.
We're like, we're in a cherry.
before we left that studio, we found out where Howard was, and he was behind a bunch of black glass, so we couldn't see in it.
Yeah.
And then we turned around and we mooned it.
Oh, he did.
We did too. We mooned it.
Yeah.
I did.
He might have pretended to move, but
Well, I remember heading toward his studio going, should we crash it? Should we crash it?
Yeah, exactly.
seems history with Howard. And I think personally, I think it'd be kind of cool because I think everybody's grown up. It's all come a long way, and I think it would be really fun to have a reunion with Howard. I just do. So I'm gonna send up the flagpole, the olive branch, or the fig leaf.
You know what we can do, Susan? You're gonna send a big leaf or whatever you need.
I remember.
And you can tell, I'm kind of forgetting what I was going to say. It's okay, because what I think I was going to say was that when you send that up, we can say, I after that.
Okay, you were the first guy. We know you were the first guy. We love you for it. That's
Howard, yeah.
Howard. Keep this, Howard. Look, I'm appealing to you right here, right now, in St. Charles, Missouri. Come be on our podcast. You're going to hear about this.
Hope so.
Yeah.
Best. There's one more thing we're going to discuss, and you got to get back to the joke. The Association Army, E40, the Association Army. Okay, so we have the finale. You guys know the joke, we know it, but we wanted to do this. So here's the deal. This episode is going to come up online really tomorrow night. And tomorrow night is our night off at the Four Winds Casino in New Buffalo.
Yes.
And where we misstepped 2 years ago, and they got all upset about Indian Lake, and we got banned. The family got banned from the casino. We're not on the show tomorrow night, and here's the issue: we understand some of the kids they weren't told is the problem.
Our Cassie.
We're now telling every summer we're never going to be there. And
yeah, announcements. Yeah, we feel bad for not telling you.
You can't.
We see some emails and some Facebook posts about I waited a year for this for the Cowsills, and then I find out that. So really, we should announce it. Our company should. Our company didn't. They kind of don't work on it. So next spring we'll make a new announcement. Yeah, no, we didn't make. We're banned for life, guys. Even our family did.
And people bought tickets, and we're mad about that.
Yeah, people bought tickets and weren't told. So,
and we feel a little responsible too, even though we talk about it quite a bit on the podcast.
Now, for you people new to the issue, what are they talking about? What the heck's going on? Okay, we did Indian Lake one night, and we did our war room section, and they interpreted some kind of funny dance or something.
Or dance plus, or
Eating it up like we did as kids,
the little kid song about going to a lake for the holiday.
So someone at the casino, a new guy, decided to up in arms, and you know what our world is like today. And we did get canceled from that casino because of something we did in 1968 that we should have thought about in terms of, because Susan's 7 years old.
Yeah, the future is for me, like Cowboys and anymore.
And we play at a lot of Indian casinos, and they love Indian Lake.
Yeah.
And elders sometimes, when our company says, hey, you better not do anything, I go, well, talk to the elders. They go, that's why we're here. We want to hear that song.
Yeah. So we think whoever gets the first strings, they just jettisoned us, okay? And we're gone.
More reasonable approach to this whole entire thing. You just simply ask us to omit it from our set.
We did offer to.
What if we have
Money on things of food out of our mouths.
our children's road from the chase
Children,
they're on their own.
seed of on
we like to, not do the song. We offered to eliminate the war room section from the song. We explained to them that they misinterpreted something horribly, whatever it was. We don't know, it could have been 10 of them, but
Benny.
give me a break. And we just wanted to get in front of them to explain to them how ridiculous their dumb position was to take that out on a 7-year-old, 50 or 60 years later into her family. Okay? And we're not going to get wrapped up about this.
No.
Stay cool. But anyway, that's the explanation. We got to get back to our show. We have a finale to do. We're loving it, and we love you guys. I'm saying, fingers. You guys need to come to our show. Oh, we had 4.
Yeah, go ahead. Say a little bit more time.
Yeah.
Listen. Okay. There was a show, and there were people right in the south of your own world. Okay, and they held up that they were podcast listeners.
Yes.
Now us, we're kooky, okay, and we saw that, and boy, it was wonderful. But we didn't make a big enough
I waved.
thing about it,
Not big.
Yes, but we wanted to get to you, and we it out.
Yeah.
It did.
Oh, it's very good.
But what you've been realizing, and we're going to be much better about this, is that a lot of you guys are coming to the show.
Yeah.
So from here on, I don't know what date it is, but we're going to take heed of what we're seeing there and
figure something out.
Remember,
team members, we're going to say yes.
we're going to connect with you in some manner of speaking.
It's got to be.
And speaking at the corner of the stage at the end of the show.
You never know.
As you can see, I'm
Somewhere in the
hold up that badge here. It's an all-access pass. Okay, now you can put it down.
Right.
A vocal, we'll design a vocal example. Like you guys, you go up to any security guard and get in close to whisper. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Podcast.
And
it's in the director room. You can have on. All right, no, well, maybe not. No, but deduction time. We're gonna make note of it, and then at the end of the show, we're gonna come out somewhere on the facility, on the edge of that stage, and we're gonna see you.
Yeah.
So if you are a podcaster from here on out, and you do that, just relax. Don't leave the auditorium.
Yeah, stay.
And we are gonna connect.
One addendum. If you're listening to this and you are not a podcast listener, you think you're gonna come make some fake sign. And we listening, here's for you, and then we'll know if you listen or not.
But the thing is that the only way that they would know that if they aren't, and they wouldn't know any of this because if they're not. So anybody that sees it here are listeners.
Watching it, now we got a little problem. So we have a situation on the road where we're not allowed to talk to people anymore because everybody's going to get sick and we can't do our show. So we have to limit our guests visiting.
Well, right, that's the happy together, but we have a lot of shows coming.
We can see guys want anything we want.
I have to get to know them.
September 14th, in Lorraine, Ohio, you can find us great city. We got the RNPNC, we got September 20th, in West Virginia. December 6th, the cutting
A
room.
lot of fun things.
February. We don't know about September. Check out into that. All right, everybody.
That's right.
We're out. Over and out. I'm going to approach the screen.
And now it's time.
Look at Bob. Bob, look at me.
Bobby, look.
You're there.